Please note, this podcast contains information regarding sensitive events, including domestic violence, assault, and abuse, as well as other triggering events such as murder. This podcast is intended for mature audiences. When Alice jumped down the rabbit hole, she immediately regretted her decision. A rabbit hole is a metaphor for something that transports someone into a troubling, surreal state or situation. Welcome to Afterglow, the unveiling of the Idaho cult. This is Season 2, Episode 14, Found in Hawaii. This podcast will take you down the deepest of rabbit holes as it unfolds. The story is so compelling, so bizarre, and so heinous, it's impossible to look the other way. Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow were dedicated in the most horrible way to an ideology that should only be fiction. Instead, their ideology put them behind bars. Join us as we explore the lives, lies, and diabolical crimes of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell. I'm your host, Kathy Brooks. Please follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is the most recent episode that I am recording. Lori Vallow, we know in real life at this point, while I'm recording this, is on trial. But we are still catching up here on Afterglow, Unveiling the Idaho Cult. This is episode 14 of season 2, Found in Hawaii. And before I get started, I just want to remind you all that this is a one-woman show. I am the editor, the producer, the researcher, and everything that goes along with all of that. As you can tell, this is my voice as well. So we want to go ahead and continue, and we are in January of 2020. Where we left off on the last episode, Kay Vallow, Woodcock, and Larry Woodcock held a press conference offering up $20,000 reward for help for someone to come forward and tell them where JJ and Tylee are. Lori is still MIA, Chad is still MIA, and no one knows where they are. Chad's brother, his younger brother, is trying to get a hold of him and releases this statement on January 10th, 2020. Matt Daybell's entire statement, published by East Idaho News, Nate Eaton. Due to the circumstances surrounding the unknown whereabouts of JJ Vallow and Tylee Ryan and the suspicious death investigation of Tammy Daybell, I feel I must make an official statement at this time. My name is Matt Daybell. My wife is Heather Daybell. We have been residents of the Rexburg area for over 15 years. Chad Daybell is my oldest brother. I have not seen nor directly spoken to Chad since Tammy's memorial here in Rexburg on October 23rd, 2019. Since that time, I have texted Chad twice. Once when I heard from a neighbor of his quick marriage to Lori Vallow, expressing to him my shock and dismay at this news. Second, just recently pleading with Chad to cooperate with authorities and reveal the whereabouts of his new stepchildren. I have not been close to Chad since childhood. My immediate family has had little association with Chad the last many years due to our concerns with his religious claims and particular books he has chosen to publish, including his own. We are deeply saddened at the recent events that have played out the last several months. It is our hope and prayer that JJ and Tylee are safe. We want for the truth to be found, whatever that truth turns out to be. Neither I nor my wife and children have any more information than what has been reported by the news media. I plead again for Chad to come forward and cooperate with the investigation so that this very difficult situation might be resolved. My wife and I have asked for privacy for us and our children and will not be given any further comments at this time. On January 20th, 2020, I, Kathy, made my very first video on this case on Left Undone Incomplete Investigations, my YouTube channel. It was actually my very second video ever to be published to my channel that I ever did. But if you would like to see it, it was posted on January 20th, 2020. And remember, I was watching this all in real time unfold. So this podcast here, Afterglow, is trying to keep everything in chronological order. What we didn't know then, what we do know now. On January 25th, 2020, in Kauai, Hawaii, law enforcement serves Lori Vallow with a child protection order from the Madison County Prosecutor's Office in Rexburg, Idaho. This order requires Lori to produce Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow to the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare or Rexburg Police Department by January 30th, 2020. So Nate Eaton of East Idaho News gets a down low scoop of where Lori and Chad are in Hawaii. And so at the very moment that Chad and Lori are served with these papers to appear in court, Lori needed to appear in court in Rexburg, Idaho. That very moment, Nate Eaton is there. And this is my favorite interaction that anybody has ever had with Lori Vallow during this entire case. This happened and it was fabulous. Although Lori shows her true colors here. She looks beautiful. Chad even looks better. Like she revamped his hair. And it is just blows my mind when I watch this. She has a very crappy attitude towards Nate. Acts like she doesn't have a care in the world about her children. And she's dragging Chad by the hand. Chad makes some interesting looks, sideways glances, and it looks pretty uncomfortable during this. Although his hairstyle is much better. And somehow I think she even got rid of a chin or two. Okay, let's play that.
I'm Nate Eaton with EastIdahoNews.com in Kauai, where Chad and Lori Daybell were served with 2 search warrants just hours ago. Law enforcement officers from eastern Idaho, along with federal agents and the Kauai Police Department, pulled Lori and Chad over. They were driving a black SUV. They pulled into this resort where I am standing. They put Chad into one vehicle, Lori into another. That's when their vehicle was seized and they had no way to get home. We had a chance to ask them so many questions that need answers. Lori, Nate Eaton with East Idaho News. Can you tell me where your kids are? Where are your kids?
No comment.
No comment? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say? You're over here in Hawaii? Where are your children? Yeah, why don't you just give us a comment? Just tell us where they are. Chad, where are Lori's kids? What happened to Tammy, Chad? Can you tell us what happened to Tammy? Why have you guys been in Hawaii for so long? Listen, just tell people what's happening. There's people around the country praying for your children, praying for you guys. Why don't you give us answers?
That's great.
That's great. That's great that they're praying for you, praying for your kids. What? You have nothing to say? Did you do something to your children? Are your children still alive? That's a simple question. I've got 3 kids of my own. I can tell you every minute where my kids are at. Where are your children? What do you guys plan to do now? Are you have 5 days to get your children in front of a judge in Rexburg? Then what? Are you guys innocent of any crimes? Have you committed any crimes? Chad, you guys have a lot to say on your podcast. You don't have anything to say now? Lori? Do you believe that you were instructed by God or others to do something for your children? If you could give a message to them, what would you say? Listen, if you just talk to us, we'll leave you alone.
Family's worried. Tammy's family's very worried.
Tammy's family's very worried. Lori, your mother, Kay, came out. Kay and Larry, they're offering a $20,000 reward for your children. And you're over here on the beach? This is your chance to tell your story. Nothing you want to say? One last chance right here? Anything you want to say to the people in Idaho? Laura, you have a lot of cash there in your baggie. Were you guys planning to leave Hawaii? Were you planning to take off? And with that, Chad and Lori darted into this resort, and they still have not come out. Now, police have not said what they are searching for in that SUV or in their home, but one thing that was not found is Lori's children. JJ and Tylee are still missing. Tomorrow, we will have much more from Hawaii. For now, I'm Nate Eaton reporting for EastIdahoNews.com.
So the search warrant went above and beyond just Chad and Lori pulling them over and taking the car. They searched the condo they were staying in. They found birth certificates for both Tylee and JJ, JJ's iPad. They found lawn chairs in the condo and exercise mats and nothing that would make them think that any children had been there or were there with them. But now Lori has a deadline. Lori is supposed to show up for court by January 30th, 2020. However, Lori does not show up for court with her children or with herself or with Chad. And Kay and Larry were there waiting to embrace JJ, praying, I'm sure, and very skeptical but hopeful that Lori would show up with his children, or at least someone would show up with the children. But that did not happen. So they hold a press conference. Unfortunately, Larry isn't there. I'm sure he was extremely disappointed, exhausted, and just devastated that this is going to move on to something more. And I think their gut is talking to them and telling them that, yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. But Kay is interviewed right now. We will listen to her interview. Press conference. Press conference when Lori did not show up and what Kay has to say.
Okay, y'all ask me questions and I will answer to the best of my ability.
Hey, what's your thoughts right now? You've had a long day with the police, met with them, it's after 5, and we're hearing Lori has not come to Rexburg.
Right. Lori hasn't come to Rexburg. The kids haven't been delivered. It's 5 o'clock. This is her deadline for her court order to produce them. So at this point, it seems the next step is in the judge's hands, I do believe, to see how they're going to proceed with any type of consequence for not following a judge's order. So what exactly that is, I don't know. I can't guess on it. I can't say for sure what's going to happen next, other than that I hope it is something that will get her attention, because I'd love to know where those kids are. And I think all of America wants to know where they are, and that all this is just beyond crazy, that a mother can't, how do you not produce your child how do you not know where your child is, number one, so she says, and how do you not have them for 4 months? What kind of a mother does that? A mother, the only word that is coming to my mind right now is a monster. And as much as I loved Lori, she was my sister-in-law, and I loved her, and she was a great mother as far as I knew and as far as I saw for years. And all this is just, it's just been very disheartening, and I just can't, I don't know. I have so many questions that, y'all, I'm sorry, I got to turn my phone off. I just can't, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to react to this, because I had my hopes up, and Larry, we both had our hopes up a lot today for hopefully being able to see our grandson. And so now I'm quite disappointed. And even though I didn't have my hopes up very high that she would produce them, but still I was hoping I don't know. Anybody?
Are you feeling less optimistic about the outcome?
I'm a lot less optimistic at this moment. Everybody asked Larry and I, how are we getting through all this the last few months? And it's because we stay optimistic, because we just aren't accepting that the worst case scenario, we're not accepting it. And I don't think we ever will until we know 100% it's anything more than that it's anything that can be proven. I'm lost, y'all. Y'all have to excuse me on this. I'm tired and I'm kind of upset right now. So, anyway, anybody?
Did this tell you if Chad and Lori are still in Hawaii? Do you know where they are?
I know that they're not in Hawaii. The police didn't have to tell us, but I was informed that they are still there and probably sunning on the beach somewhere while we're sitting here wondering where the kids are.
The police didn't tell you what would be next with the investigation?
No, I don't. I'm hoping for some type of consequence that will get her attention, to make her have to talk. And other than that, there's nothing more that I can hope for. There's nothing more I can do. I do feel very confident that law enforcement is doing everything they can. This is such an unusual situation that I think with the mere interest in everything, that the judge and whoever makes the decisions as how it progresses from here, as far as what they're going to do with Lori, I think that I do believe they're going to not take this lightly, and they understand the seriousness of this. So I'm confident with that.
You met with law enforcement this morning?
Yes.
And how did that go?
We talked about just numerous things, and but nothing really that can be shared at this point. And if and when I can share, I will. But thing is, I know the kids aren't here, and once again, we go back to the kids aren't here, Lori's not here, so we just have to wait and see how they're going to deal with it. So we know what to do.
That Lori did not cooperate?
I'm sorry?
Are you at all surprised that Lori did not cooperate?
I am not at all surprised of that. Lori's not going to make this easy. She's got an end game in her head, and although this is not a game, but obviously she thinks it is, for you to shun an order from a court telling you what you need to do and to just blow it off like, I'm not going to deal with it. Like when Nate was interviewing her the other day, that arrogant, smug attitude she had, that's what really let me know that she's not going to do anything unless she is absolutely forced to do it.
What do you think Lori's done with the kids?
I know she doesn't have them. I pray that they are with a family somewhere that is caring for them emotionally and any other way, that in a good home. But the mere fact that she put them in a stranger's home, I mean, I don't know. As far as I know, they're not with any family. They're not with our family. Shows just complete lack of concern that the best interest of a 7-year-old autistic child who does not deal well with change, that she doesn't care. And because Larry and I would be the one place she knows that JJ would be the most comfortable with, if not with Charles, he's dead, and if not with her, because she doesn't want him. and the next place would be for us to have him. And so obviously she didn't see that was a good idea.
Have you thought about filing for custody?
Oh, absolutely. Since she's done all this, since this has come to this far without any kind of adult conversation of, JJ's best interest. It's not about what she's angry about. It's not about us being upset that my brother's murdered. It's not about anything. Dealing with a child, I've been through a divorce before. You do what's best for the kids. As an adult, you put your feelings aside and you do what's best for the kids. And obviously that's not happening in this situation.
Previously, you told us that your brother, the late Charles Vallow, he had evidence of some kind of a relationship or an affair between Lori and Chad Daybell. Do you want to tell us what the evidence was? How did he know?
Charles, Lori was not real savvy on technical things like, if you email something, that she would email something that all you have to do is go look in the sent file and you can see what was emailed. Well, she was making videos of herself dancing, like I can't think of the dancing you call it, like, I don't know if that's the right word, but just dancing. And she would email that to Chad. Charles told me about it. And I said, Charles, okay, he's married. She's married. That at the least is extremely inappropriate. But you don't do that. You don't do that if she's not having an affair. She is about to. But I promise you now, as a woman, and I see that kind of action from another woman, there's an affair going on. And that was last January.
So they've known each other. She knew Chad for at least a year or more.
Oh, yeah. I think they may have met in 2016, 2017 time frame. I'm not sure exactly when they met face to face. I do know she had been reading his books, and that's where I guess it sparked her interest and eventually met him.
Have you spoken to any of Chad's children?
No, I don't know them. I am very sorry for what they're going through, what the loss of their mother. Their dad just seems to be just doing his own thing. So no, I haven't, but I do offer my condolences to the family.
Okay, there's a lot of people in Hawaii that are sending us messages of where Chad and Lori are. It seems like now people on the island are aware that they are there and kind of tracking their every move. How long do you think that they can stay there without either law enforcement getting involved or them having to flee because everyone's spotting them?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. What I see happening is she's going to quickly become a Casey Anthony. Everybody remembers the Casey Anthony case, and she's still in hiding. Found innocent years ago, and she's still in hiding. So there's only so far this is going to bring Lori. There's only so far she can go with this. And I don't think any way she's going to deal with this is going to come out with her looking very good.
Do you think Chad might be in danger from her?
If I was Chad, I would be sleeping with one eye open. Absolutely. She's a black widow. Those are my thoughts and Larry's. Larry, by the way, isn't feeling really good today. So he's in a hotel resting. So yeah, there's nowhere Lori can go with this to make her to come out of this with any kind of self respect. And
we'll be right back.
Welcome to Confessions of a Wannabe It Girl. I'm your host, Marley Fregging, and I'm here to help you filter out all the bullshit and become the next It Girl. This podcast explores the reality of what it really takes to make it out there. As it turns out, it is way less Instagrammable than I thought it was going to be. I'm still very much a work in progress, but there's simply nothing else I'd rather be doing than chasing my dreams. So let's learn from my mistakes and work together to achieve our dreams with more confidence, clarity, and direction. Let's get after it.
Kay, you said that Lori said that she didn't know where the children were. When did she say that?
Well, you know what? Let me take that back. When I say that, I don't know where they are. She says she does, but then also at the same time, she said she knew where they were when the Rexburg police went to do the welfare check, and they were with a friend in Arizona. No, they weren't with a friend in Arizona. Then there was something else that was said that nope, they're not there either. So she's just, it's a cat and mouse game.
So that wasn't something the police recently.
Yeah, right. And I misspoke that, and I apologize. Yeah, I misspoke that.
It's past their deadline. It was 5 o'clock tonight. What are your plans? What do you do next?
Well, I'm just gonna do like y'all and wait and see what law enforcement does, and hopefully the judge will issue a contempt order. And there's something about it being a contempt order that I think the governor has to sign. I really don't know the legal side of it, but I just hope that I pray that it's an extraditable warrant issued and they can pick her up and get her here to Idaho and in front of the judge, and let's see where it goes from there.
And if they're seeing some of this coverage, what would you like to tell them?
Lori, Chad, this can end rather quickly, and it's going to end rather badly if y'all don't. Well, Lori, no, I don't think Chad's under the order. Lori, it will end rather badly for you if you don't follow the order and do what you're supposed to do.
Do you know if Tylee and JJ were receiving any kind of SSI because of their deceased fathers?
Well, Lori did tell me that Tylee was receiving survivor death benefits for her father.
How much, you know?
No. Well, I know what she told me, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter, and I'm not going to share that. JJ is entitled to it. Now, I can't imagine her not filing for it because it's money she'd get every month to help raise him. But if she's not raising him, maybe that's helping her buy new bikinis to be on the beach in Hawaii.
Ms. Kay, with just in speaking to some of Chad's neighbors, associates, a lot of them say that they don't think he would be capable of anything, that there's some sort of misunderstanding or misinterpretation in the media. Do you believe that Chad knows exactly where the children are, what happened to them?
I don't know Chad. I don't know what kind of person he is. I mean, I've read that he was a good family man, a good, good in the community. But I just honestly can say I don't know if Chad realizes what he's gotten into. So,
do you think he knows what happened to the children?
I don't know. If Lori told him something, 50-50, is she lying or not? I don't know. That I don't know how their relationship is, how they're working together or I don't know. I've never met him. All I know is I know Lori, and she has become quite a liar and a manipulator. And so good luck for him. He better run the other direction right now. That'd be the best bet for him.
Leaving the police station earlier today, your husband mentioned that he was feeling better after talking with police. Did they say they had any leads or anything like that?
Well, we got a little information that they would. We know now what there's some recourse that can happen after this, and the recourse was did make us feel better. It did give us a little peace that she's just not going to be able to keep doing the Lori thing and not have to be accountable. Everybody has to be accountable. If you're not accountable to the law, then you're accountable to God. So, but they're gonna, at least right now, make her accountable to law enforcement. That's
that recourse.
Well, they're like I said, they can just however the judge decides to deal with her non-compliance with the court order to produce them.
Did the police mention extradition?
That is one of the things they can do. Yes, absolutely. For the contempt.
Did they give you any sort of timeline for the judge to make that decision?
It's what time is it right now?
5:23.
It's too late. It's already should have happened. If you're me, it should have happened. No, they didn't. They judges are busy. They've got their bureaucracy they have to cut through. So I do believe they know the eyes that are on this case. I do know that they are very concerned about this case, that they are and they're all in on it. They're fully engaged in it, and that they will. I believe they're not going to let grass grow under their feet with this. They're gonna keep this moving. So hopefully tomorrow we'll know something. Hopefully at 6 p.m. I'll know something. I don't know.
Okay, are you guys sticking around town for a while? What's your plan?
We have plans to leave Saturday, but if I'm here, say tomorrow that the judge did this, they're going to extradite her, I will be here when Lori gets here. We'll be here. I'll stay here as long as it takes.
You want to look her in the face?
Absolutely.
What would you say?
Show me the kids. Show me the kids. Show me the kids.
We see that there's this flyer still out with that reward money that you guys are personally offering. Is that still in effect?
Oh, yes. The reward is still there. Our family is committed to that. Just absolutely. That $20,000 is still out there waiting for somebody to claim it. At this point, also, the kids are still not accounted for. I still think everybody needs to be on the lookout for them, because I still want to know where JJ is, and I still want to know where Tylee is. Since Mom won't tell us, maybe the American public can. Maybe they can find them.
How did the kids get along? Do you think she would take care of JJ?
I think, well, Tylee's 10 years older than JJ, and a teenage girl, they are more into having fun and not wanting to take care of a 7-year-old little brother. But I do believe Tylee would, absolutely. Do I think that she ran off with him and is, for whatever reason, no, that is not happening. That wouldn't happen. I would never expect that. That would be completely out of character.
Did they have ties in Hawaii, or was that kind of random when you heard that they were there?
Do I have ties?
The Daybells, did they?
Oh yeah. Lori and Charles, my brother, lived there for 2.5 years, and so absolutely, and that's Lori's favorite place on earth. So, but think about it. You go to an island in the middle of the Pacific to hide. You can't get off the island without showing your license to get on a plane or getting on a cruise ship. You have to have your license, your identification to get on a plane, a ship. So I just can't say that was a real smart place to go hide. But anyway, just Yes.
Do you think Lori just abandoned the children because she was done?
Yes, absolutely. She was done. And I guess she thought it's Lori time. So she got rid of everything or got them out of her way, just like she did Charles, got him out of her way. Alex, I believe that I will be, I can't say, I don't know anything more than y'all do about whether his death was natural or not, but maybe it was, but I don't believe Tammy Daybell's was. There's too many people dying around Lori for it to all be natural. It just, unless she is the most unlucky person in the world, that's what I would think.
Do you think she was poisoned? Tammy Daybell.
I don't know. I mean, I don't. I knew that I've heard that she was in great health, preparing for a marathon run and things like that. But other than that, I mean, to me, if I'm preparing for a run like that, I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be taking care of myself. I'm going to be doing all the right things. So, poison, I do believe that is not too far from something I wouldn't put past Lori at this point.
Or Chad?
Or I don't know. I don't know Chad enough to say. I don't know.
We will ask one more question so we can let her go.
Thank you. Okay. Who's it? Last.
I've got one.
Okay.
Did police give you any indication? I know they're reinvestigating Tammy's death. They exhumed her body. They went back to the home. Did police give you any information about what they found in that?
Oh, no. I've got no information on that whatsoever. Like y'all, that's how I learn about it. So, all right. Well, thank y'all. Those that have been chasing us for a day and a half, I'm sorry. We're just trying to do the best we can. Yeah.
Tell Larry we said hi.
I will do that.
I would. More than 30 minutes of sleep tonight.
Yeah. He was, yeah, this is just so stressful anyway, you know.
And just a little more from Nate around this time, like right before this interview, when he talks about Lori and Chad being served.
When Chad and Lori Daybell were served with search warrants on Sunday, they were Kauai Police Department warrants. So these are now Hawaii cases. They have not been arrested. They have not been charged. But the prosecuting attorney here in Kauai tells us what happens next.
If they fail to produce the children in the court in Idaho on Thursday or before Thursday, the judge there could issue a warrant for their arrest for either or both of the parents. And that would basically go into a nationwide database requesting extradition. They wouldn't be able to contest the underlying merits of that case or the underlying charge. The only thing they could contest here in Hawaii would be that they were or were not the people named in the warrant, so ID, and they could contest the legality of their arrest. And that case would be handled here in Hawaii in our courts by deputies from our office. They could demand a governor's warrant from Idaho. The process can take some time if they want it to take some time, or it can be very quick if they want it to be quick. We never had any indication that the kids were here or that they had traveled to Hawaii. I've been doing this for about 11 years, and I haven't seen a case like this one.
So the Kauai Police Department will continue to work with the Rexburg Police Department, the FBI, and other law enforcement to try and solve this case. Meanwhile, word is spreading here on Kauai about Chad and Lori Daybell. One of their neighbors, a real estate agent, says that he met them back in December.
About the first week of December, there were some boxes left on their porch, and they believe they're from Idaho. And I called the realtor that has a listing, and he told me to put them inside for him. And then a few days after that, maybe mid-December, somewhere in that time frame, I saw them pull up, and I went over and introduced myself, and their names were Chad and Lori. Usually when you meet people that are moving here, they're excited about being on this beautiful island. And they seemed a little bit more guarded. They didn't seem like they wanted to open up or share. When they took the rental over, it didn't have furniture, and they brought in their own furniture and put furniture into the unit.
Did you see them coming and going all the time, or?
No, not at the pool. I don't think I ever saw them at the pool or anything like that. So it seemed like it seemed to be vacant most of the time. I didn't see lights on or anything else like that at night. And I believe I saw him, last time I saw anybody was Chad. It was last Friday. And I just said, hi, how you doing? And that was about it.
Around 72,000 people live on the island of Kauai. 8,000 or so people go through this airport every day. It's unknown what Chad and Lori Daybell will do now. They might stay here. They might go to Idaho. They could go elsewhere. Regardless, this case is far from over. Reporting in Kauai, I'm Nate Eaton, EastIdahoNews.com.
All right, everybody, that's it for this episode 14, Season 2, Found in Hawaii, and we will continue. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Stay safe and well, and I appreciate all of you. And if you are so inclined, some people have been very nice and generous and donated to my podcast to help keep it running. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Stay safe, stay well, and I will be back soon. Sources for this episode: Annie Lennox, Annie Cushing, East Idaho News with Nate Eaton, Justin Lum, Fox 10 Phoenix, and myself, Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations on YouTube. Theme music by Dan Lebowitz.